Take number 3,423. Hey guys, it's time for Fragment Friday. Fragment Friday is a weekly meme hosted by Booksheet Club. Head over to his blog to check out the other Fragment Friday posts. This week I'm going to be reading from The Jumbee by Pamela Keyes. This is a pretty interesting book. I actually just started it. It's kind of a take on Phantom of the Opera, so it sounds really good. I'm going to be reading from the prologue. Paul is dead. Estie's head jerked up at the wail from the old theater building. She jammed her books into her backpack and leapt to her feet. Heart pounding, she raced across the grassy courtyard, fumbling to close the zipper of her pack. In front of her, a girl stumbled from the building, catching herself against a palm tree. Estie grabbed the main door before it could close. Two teachers knelt beside a boy on the stage, speaking in urgent voices. Other students shoved into the theater behind Estie, jostling her to get closer. As people crowded around, she fought a rising sense of panic. She recognized the clothes and the colorful knitted cap on the boy's head. Outside, someone yelled for an ambulance. "I think he broke his neck," the theater teacher said in a shaky voice. "He must have fallen from the catwalk." Estie clutched her backpack against her chest and backed into the corner, following the teacher's gaze to the narrow metal bridge above the stage. It didn't look like enough of a fall to kill someone. "Not an omen, not an omen," she chanted desperately to herself. Asking to move to the Caribbean for her senior year surely wasn't a giant mistake. It was the most independent choice she'd ever made. Her father would have been proud of her. As a ceiling fan creaked in the shocked silence, relentlessly stirring the humid air, Estie felt the sharp coral pattern of the wall digging into her shoulders. So what if Paul was the first boy she'd met at Mantuquet High School? Half an hour ago, he had appeared on the stage from nowhere, scaring the living daylights out of her. She was still trying to shrug it off as a silly new girl moment, but it no longer mattered. He was dead. To speak with Paul. Estie looked up at the strong West Indian dialect, startled by the deep brown eyes of a policeman. The police had shown up right away, then an ambulance. They had asked Estie not to leave the scene, although they moved her to the other side of the lush green courtyard. Now she sat at a carved stone bench at the edge of the school grounds as they stretched yellow tape across the theater entrance. She hadn't been able to watch when they carried Paul's body away on a gurney. "I had to try to call your mother," the policeman said, "but no one answered the phone. I need to ask you a few questions." "I don't know what happened." Estie picked at the belt loop of her faded jeans. She had called home several times, more frantic with each try, but Aurora wasn't answering. "I don't know anyone at Mantuquet. It's my first day here." "Yes, miss." Although the officer's dark forehead dripped with sweat, his expression seemed kind enough. He sat down beside her, his arm remarkably black next to her pale, freckled skin. "I ain't accusing you." He spoke slowly, making sure she understood his words. "You teachers say you was in class today, and I know you come to Cariba Island just a week ago, but you was in the theater before he fall." Estie didn't know if the sweat trickling down her neck was from the heat or from the anxiety churning inside her. Tucking a stray wisp of brown hair back into her long ponytail, she managed a quick nod. "Paul Wilmeth was my nephew," the policeman's eyes became sad. "My brother's son. You's the last one to talk to he, and I had like to know what he say." Estie slumped on the bench, wishing she could disappear into the tranquil sea. As a distant splash sent ripples surging, however, she couldn't suppress a matching shiver. Sharks were probably hiding beneath the calm surface out there. She should tell Officer Wilmeth the truth, even if it wasn't what he wanted to hear. After her classes, she had gone into the empty theater to get a feel for the stage layout, determined to start the year off right. She'd been reciting Juliet's lines for almost 20 minutes, working herself into an unexpected reverie as the theater welcomed her with its nice acoustics. The knowledge of starting from scratch, making her own name in a new theater with a blank slate, filled her with a growing sense of joy. The very air around her seemed to radiate delight. Then a boy appeared from behind one of the sets, laughing at her involuntary scream. "Scare ya, gal?" He spoke with an accent so thick she strained to understand him, his dreadlocks bundled beneath a tall, brightly knitted cap. Esty wasn't particularly short, but the cap made the boy look huge. Her heart thudded as he approached in his flamboyant island clothing, and she forced herself to stay calm. She was going to make friends with the other theater students this year. This time, she wasn't going to blow it. Before she could speak, however, he laughed again. "You got no chance at Juliet." She felt her face turn red. How could 6 words, spoken by a boy she'd never met before, hurt so much? "For true," he continued, "you best try something else." She could have told him he had no right to cut her down. "You're the one in control, Esty," her dad had always said. "No one but you." The problem was she'd never been as good at clever comebacks as her dad was, not even on stage, where she could think the fastest. So she had shrugged and turned away, blinking back tears as the boy sauntered over to a long metal ladder. She knew he'd seen her slink away, his shoes ringing against the high metal floor of the catwalk as he moved above the stage. When she reached the main entrance, she could barely drag open the heavy door, muttering the words that now tied her stomach in a knot. "I hope you fall." Hope you guys enjoyed me reading from The Jumbee by Pamela Keyes. Have a great weekend.